One of the major benefits of all of these standard parts in the content libraries is that they are based around dynamic blocks. If I click on this bolt, for example, that we put in earlier, what I can do there is select it, and you'll notice, look, I have an arrow, a pointy down arrow there. That's indicating that it's a dynamic block. When I click there, I can specify diameter, so it's an M10. I might update that to an M12. Notice it gets wider, and I can drag the size like so. So I'll click and drag that down. Now, if I click again, though, I can actually specify a known length. Let's go for 60 millimeters. So that's a fixed length, 60 millimeters. So it's an M12, 60 millimeters long. I hit escape there just to deselect it. Now that's great because that means that all of the family of that particular bolt are already built in to the dynamic block, the standard part. But if I want to reuse that over and over again, what I can also do here is set it up as a favorite in my standard parts library. So I just click and I can drag and I can release. And there's my favorite there. So there's my favorite, my hexagon head screw there. Now, notice it doesn't give it a name. You actually have to do that yourself. So it would be a right click there and rename. You'd actually have to name that. So I would put there something like BS, and it's a 3692, and I would put hex head or something like that. Again, it depends on what you're doing, but I'll put hex head in there, so I now know that that's a BS 3692 hex head. So when I click there now, so if I, instead of coming up here, I go to my hex head here, I get the same setup. So you'll see there it goes into hexagon head screw. It's all there ready to go. All I've got to do now is click on that and decide on what I want to do with it. Now I'm not actually going to use that, I'm going to close that. But you get the idea. So that's there, BS3692 hex head. That's in my favourites all the time. So if I close the content library now, and then open it up again, I have my hex head in my favourites. I don't have to search around here all the time. I don't have to go, oh, you know, British Standard, heads, fasteners, so on. It just saves time. It's just like using favourites in your Internet Explorer or your Mozilla Firefox. You save web pages. Well, what we're doing here, we're saving a hex head ready for use again in a different drawing maybe. So that's how your standard parts library favourites work. So let's have a little look at what else we've got here. Let's have a look. I've got here add favourite part. I can actually add a new folder if I want to. So what I could do is move my hex head into a My Favourites folder. So let's create a new folder there. So there's my new folder. Now that unfortunately has appeared underneath the steel shapes there. I don't really want it there. What I should have done, I'll just press enter there and I can actually right click and delete that. So I'll delete that folder and anything in the folder will obviously be deleted as well. If I select SGL favourite here, like that, and then add new folder, that places it underneath the main directory. So what I would do there is something like, let's say, bolts. Or, more to the point, let's be territorial about this, let's call it my bolts, like that, and enter. I can just drag that down. I can click and drag that into there, and it's now in the My Bolts folder. So you now know where they are. Again, easy to understand, easy to use. What Autodesk have done with AutoCAD Mechanical is make the user interface easy to understand. That makes you more productive, more effective at your job. It makes you more profitable for your boss. So basically, you win all round. You're quicker and more effective at your job, and you're gaining kudos with the people you work with.